morning, everybody. Here we are once again gathered for another great exercise session. Glad to have you all here with me. So today we're going to focus on strength. So we will need to have your weights and your bands, tubing, whatever you have for your strength. And don't forget your water bottle as well. So if you don't have that, go run and get that. But first of all, we're going to warm up just a little bit with a little bit of activity. So let's just start with a nice, easy, slow march. Nice and easy. Just getting that body warmed up. All right, let's go 1, 2, 3, kick. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, and kick. 1, 2, 3, and add a little punch in there. And punch. 1, 2, 3, and kick. Sitting up nice and tall, away from the back of your chair. Use those abdominal muscles to keep you upright. That's what they're for. They are stabilizers. All right, all kicks, and let's change it to a push. Push, push, push. 4, 3, 2, now overhead with that push. Reach, reach, reach. Again, if your shoulders don't like this movement, it's fine to keep it more forward. It's okay. Here we go. 4, 3, now push it to the side. Let's take it out. Sitting nice and tall, tummy's in. Here we go. 4, 3, 2, the floor. Push it down. Push, push. Sit up nice and tall. Pull those strings on your head up to the ceiling. Let's take it. 4, 3, back to knee lifts. Here we go. Up, up, up. We're going to add a little cross. Getting those abdominals warmed up too a little bit into that torso. Let's take it. 4, 3, 2. Now pump those heels. Up, up, up. Warming up those calf muscles, those shins, our feet and toes. And now let's take those toes up with a cross, with a cross, with a cross, with a cross. Getting that chest open. Let's slow that down. Slow it down. Good. Pull and push. Push and pull. Push and pull. Push and pull. You've got it. 4, 3, 2. Back to easy. March it. Nice job. 4, 3. Let's warm up those hips a little bit with take it out. And march it back in. March it out. March it in. Let's take that out and in. Out and in. Good job. 4 more. 3 more. 2 more. Last time. March it out. All right, we should be getting a little bit more warmed up now. So let's go to our sit to stands. So option 1, if you need help up from the chair, or you can place them on your thighs, or if you want to go to option 3, here we go. So let's bring ourselves up. As we come up to standing, we want to be sure that we're coming up nice and straight and tall each time, all the way up. Very nice. If you need to take a little break, skip a couple, it's okay. Go ahead and do that, and then come back in again when you're ready. No harm done with that. It's all good. Perfect. You've got it. Let's go 4 more. And 3. Last 2. And last 1. Very nice. Okay, this is strength day, so we're going to do set number 2 for our sit to stand. So option 1, 2, 3, or option 4, get your weights. Okay, so holding the weights in. The weights are here, just remember, just for a little extra weight. They're not really there to do anything with our arms. So here we go. Up. And if you're going along and you're thinking, gosh, these weights are getting heavy. Who added some weight to it while I wasn't looking? It's okay to put them back down and continue out your set without the weights. Perfectly fine. Or if you're doing option 2 or 3, you want to go back down to 1, that's okay too. No harm, no foul, as they say. So we want to come up nice and straight and tall each time, right up to standing. Yeah, straight and tall. Get those shoulders back. Perfect. What do you think? 4 more? And 3. Here we go. 2. Last 1. Perfect job. Woo, okay. Let's go ahead and set our weights on down. And we're going to gather up our tubing next for an upper body. So let's bring that tube right up underneath of our armpits here. So a little bit more resistance if you grip up on that tubing. If you don't want as much resistance, come out a little bit more towards the ends. We'll start out with going straight ahead, pushing straight ahead, right from the shoulders. So they should be straight out. We want to try to get those arms as straight as we can when we're up here at the top of our work. And then bringing it in. And breathing. Exhale with that effort every time we push forward. Good job. And if you need to, again, skip a couple, it's okay to do so. Come back in again as you feel ready. Let's go 4, 3, 2, and done. Lovely. Woo. Yeah. All right. So set number 2 for the chest and the front of the shoulders. We're going to take our palms down this time, keeping our elbows up, and we're going to punch across. So this time it's more of a diagonal. Again, we want to be sitting up nice and straight and tall, away from the back of the chair, so that we're using our own abdominal muscles and not the chair back to keep us up. So again, if it feels a little bit much to bring that arm up real high, go ahead and punch it more forward. It's perfectly okay. Gets a little more shoulder activity in there if we do take it up a little higher. So again, adjust it to what your body needs today. We want to try to get that arm as straight as we can at the high point right there. Very nice. Let's do 2 more on each side. Last one each side. Perfect. Woo, yeah. All right. Wiggle those shoulders out a little bit. All right, now we are going to focus a little bit more on shoulders. So bringing the arms here, we're going to take it straight up. But again, if this does bother those shoulders, it's okay to keep it a little bit lower. Don't have to come up real high. Don't have to extend the arm all the way straight up. So again, listen to your body and give it what it needs. But our goal is to get that arm as straight as we can, right beside the ears. Working on those shoulders. And we're breathing. Good job. I know y'all are trying your best because you wouldn't have tuned in today if you didn't want to do this and do your best. I know that. I know y'all are hard workers. Almost there. As always, if you need to stop before I do, it's okay. Go for it. Beautiful. Let's go 4 more each side. And 3. Last 2. Here we go. 1 more each side. And relax. Woo, all right. That should get that whole shoulder. Top, front, back, all around. Alrighty, while we have our band, let's get that right around our thighs. So on this one, our feet are together, and then we're gonna cross this across. So we've got that, we're making it like an X, and then taking it down. So the tighter you pull those legs together, the more resistance you have. And also the further out you take the knees, the more resistance you have as well. So don't want so much resistance, loosen it up a little bit, and don't take your knees out as far. And that will give you a little less. So notice the feet stay together and the knees come apart. We're working on those hips. And as always, we're sitting up nice and tall. That string on our head is being pulled up to the ceiling. Nice job. Looking good. Keep it going. Perfect. Here we go. 4 more. 3 more. 2 more. And done. Excellent job. Okay, so from here, we're going to change this up just a little bit. So now widen your feet out just a touch, and we're going to step to the side. Step to the side. So what I want y'all to really look at is my knee stays over my ankle. We do not want those knees folding in like that. No, we don't. That is hard on the knees. So we want to step out and in. It's like our out, out, in, only we have the band on. So it does add some resistance to that movement. Still working on that hip. Perfect. Keep it going. Stop and rest a little bit if you need to. It's all right. Good job. Let's go 2 more each side. Last one. And done. Woo-wee. Perfect job. Okay, guys, let's set down our band. And we are going to come to an upper body. So let's do our rowing next. So 1 or 2 weights. I'll show you the seated first, and then I'll show you the standing. So 1 or 2 weights, entirely up to you. Whichever way you want. Here's your seated right here, like so. So noticing that the shoulder doesn't creep up into my ears. I'm bringing that up nice and slowly. There we are. All right, so if you want to do the standing position, we've got that one leg slightly ahead of the other, keeping our shoulders square to the floor and pulling that up and up. So nice and slow and controlled on the way up and on the way down as well. We want to get both ways working, concentric and eccentric. We're fighting gravity on that way down. It wants to just pull you. So fight it. Don't let it pull you down. And we're breathing. Let's go 4 more here. 4, 3, 2, and done. Very good. All right, so we have 2 sides. Move some of this stuff out of the way over here. All right, we have 2 sides, right? So let's come over to the other side. And again, if you would like to be seated on this one, feel free. Otherwise, here we go. 1 foot slightly back. A little gentler on the back. If we have a stagger stance with our legs, you can either rest your hand on the seat of your chair or on the back of the chair somewhere as well. So again, find out where it feels the best for you. We want to keep those shoulders square to the floor though, and nice and slow and controlled with that movement. And we're breathing. Looking good. All right, let's go 8 more. 8 and 7. You got this. 6, 5. Last 4. We've got it. And 3. Here's 2. And done. Very nice. You did that. Alrighty, so while we're here, let's go ahead and do our hamstring curl. So you can do this seated as well. If we're standing though, we're straight and tall, inner thighs together, knees together, and we're going to kick that heel up. So we should be feeling that muscle here in that back of the thigh. And I'll show you the seated version when we change sides. Some of you probably already know it, so feel free. And we're standing nice and straight and tall. We're really being careful that we're not pitching forward at our waist, dipping forward, and holding just gently onto our chair for a little balance help. And we're kicking that heel up as high as we can. So check your knees every once in a while. Make sure that your inner thighs and your knees are staying together. And 8, 7, 6, 5, last 4, 3, 2, and done. Perfect job. All right, so let me show you how this would look if you were seated. Bringing the leg up and kicking back up under the chair. So kind of scoot towards the edge of it a little bit and kick it forward and back so that we're squeezing this muscle right here on the underside of the leg, our hamstring. So if you prefer to do it like that, that would be fine. Otherwise, if we're standing, inner thighs together, knees together, and we're kicking that heel on up and up. Standing nice and straight and tall. Tummy's in, shoulders back, head stays up. We don't want to crane the head up to the ceiling, but we want to just kind of train our gaze straight ahead. Feeling that muscle here, that hamstring muscle contracting as we bring that leg up. And breathing. Good job. You got it. What do you say? 8 more? Okay, 8, 7, 6, 5, last 4, 3, 2, and done. Lovely job. Did that just right. Okay, today is strength day, so let's do another set of that. What do you say? Okay, sure. I know y'all talked me right into that. So come on, right around back to side number 1. And again, if you would like to be seated, go for it. So here we go. Inner thighs together, knees together, and let's kick that heel up. And as always, if you need to go ahead and go to the seated position, please feel free to do so. It's perfectly okay. If you need to stop and rest a couple repetitions, hey, that's okay too. And breathing. Exhale. Exhale. The second time around, you probably will notice, because the muscle is already slightly tired from set number 1, that you will feel as though it's getting a little bit harder, a little bit sooner, that's very normal. Let's go 4 more, and 3, last 2, and done. Okay, Set number 2 on that second leg. So let's get our set up first. Our inner thighs are together, our knees are together, and then we're kicking the heel up. And you can change sides on your chair or counter or whatever it is that you're holding on to if you'd like. Just kind of watch that knee though every once in a while. Take a look down and make sure that we're actually working that hamstring. If we let that knee flop forward and back, we're actually ending up working some different muscles, which right now we're trying to work that hamstring. We'll get to all the muscles. Don't you worry about that. Let's go 4, 3, 2, and 2 for good measure. Yeah. All right. Whew, surely felt that one. Yes, we did. All right, so let's go ahead and grab a weight for our triceps, that back of the upper arm. So grab 1 or 2 weights, up to you. So remember how we bend down to pick up things off the floor, right? We bend at our knees to pick up. So if you had your weight on the floor, be sure that that's the positioning that you're using. So let's take it here. Now, if you'd like to be seated on this, it's perfectly fine. Go ahead. The setup is the same as it was with our row. We've got the knees kind of off to one side, and then the arm is going to be glued in, and we're moving it back. So notice that I'm only moving from my elbow down. The top part of the arm isn't going anywhere. It's staying put. We're gluing that into our torso, so that we're really isolating that back of the upper arm, that tricep muscle. And we're breathing. And keep it nice and slow and controlled. Very nice. And if your muscle's getting tired, stop, rest a second, come on back in when you're ready. All right, here we go, 4 more. And 3. Last 2. And done. Lovely job. Okay, side number 2. So here we go. Get that stance first. Bring that arm up. Glue that that arm into your upper body. Squeeze that top of the arm right into your torso, and then kicking that back. And kicking it back. If you're not sure if you're doing it right, it's okay to maybe do a couple looking in a mirror at yourself and make sure that you do have the proper form. That's kind of a good little thing to do. Anytime if you're thinking, I'm not sure if I have this quite right, if you look in the mirror, you can see, is that really what you thought you were doing? Sometimes our body's doing stuff and we think it's doing something else. So if you're not sure, go ahead and do that. That might help. You got it. Looking good. Oh, it's getting tired. Yeah, it is. Here we go. 8. Oh, 7. 6. 5. Last 4, y'all. And 3. 2. And done. A lovely job. All right, let's set that weight on down. Bend at the knees if you're putting it to the floor. And then bring yourself on up. Very good. All righty, I think it's about time for a little water break. So if you didn't have any water lately, grab your water. Grab your water for sure. Have a sip. We'll take a second. Anytime you need water, please feel free to grab it. You don't have to wait for me to tell you to do that. There we are. All right, nice and refreshed. Let's go back to it again. And we'll come on up to standing and doing some side leg lifts. So we can stand to the back of the chair here if you'd like and hold on, or you can come right to the side. What we're doing here is working again down that hip complex. So we want to take those toes forward. We don't want them to turn out and to turn up to the ceiling. If you do, you're focusing more here. What we want to do is focus down that side. So here we go, and squeeze the buttock muscle. And tighten that hip and leg that you're standing on as well, because that is what we're using to stabilize us up. We're being really careful. We're not trying to lean into that chair too much or lean away from that work. And the leg is not going to go up real high when we take it out to the side like this. It goes up fairly low, but we want to focus on right here through that side of the hip and buttocks. And we're standing up nice and tall, as always. All right, 4 more. And 3. It's 2. And done. Whoo-wee, shake it out. All right, so let's go to side number 2. Same thing, nice and straight and tall. And let's take that leg back. And back. And back. So watch that we're not leaning on whatever it is we're supporting ourselves with. Be it a chair or a counter, table, whatever you have there. That we're just using it for a little balance help is all. But actually we're trying to really think about using our own muscles to stabilize us. So tummy's in, shoulders back, tighten those muscles of that leg that you're standing on as well, so that it gets a little bit of work too. A couple of the muscles that we're working by standing on one leg, this is one of the only ways that they can be worked. So let's go 8, 7, 6, 5, last 4, 3, you got it, 2, and done. Woo, shake it out a little. Absolutely. Good job. All right, so now let's go back to working on the upper body. So we will go to another back exercise, seeing as we only did the one. So let's grab our tubing. Grabbing our tubing. And from here, we're going to bring our tubing on up, widening out, so we're kind of making a V shape here, sitting up nice and tall, and then we're going to pull that down right to the side. So if you notice, my one arm is staying up and the other one is coming down. The elbow is going kind of towards my torso. So my arms are slightly bent. They're softly straight, as we say. We're not locking those joints out. Don't ever want to do that. One more, single side and single side. Nice. All right, so now from here, we're going to bring it up. Now we're just going to take one side only. So again, if you grip up on that, the more you grip up on it, the more resistance you have. And when we pull it down, we're not taking that elbow real close in, but you can see I have a soft straight of my arm. So think about bringing the shoulder blades together and down. Yeah. All right, here we go. 4 more. And 3. Last 2. And 1. Let's change other side. And breathing. Exhaling with that effort every time. So if it bothers your shoulders to come up real high, it's okay. To keep it a little bit lower, just still focus on keeping that elbow in close. So keep that shoulder a little bit lower. If you need to, it's all right. Definitely. Just maneuver it around how you need be. So you want a little more resistance, you can grip up on that band a little more. Not so much, grip out towards the end. What do you think? 4 more. And 3. Last 2. And done. Oh yeah, that got that upper back, got those shoulders, got it all. Certainly did. So let's set our band off to the side, and we are going to come up and work on our calf muscles next. So let's use our nice sit to stand movement. Coming around to the side of our chair, standing straight and tall. Again, we're just using this for a little balance help, and then we're going to bring our weight right up to our toes. Right up to our toes. So watching that we're not pushing up with our hand. So whatever is here, just very lightly hold the hands here, maybe the palm only or a couple fingers just for a little balance help. But we don't want to grip on that so that we're actually pushing with our arm to get us up to our toes. The other thing to watch for is that we're not bending at the waist. We want to bring the head up to the ceiling, straight up and down. Remember that string on the top of your head. We're coming straight up. So tightening those muscles in the back of the body too does help you to come up, straight up and straight down instead of rocking forward and back. Here we go. 4 and 3. Last 2 and 1. Now let's take the toes up. So same thing, we want to focus on keeping our torsos and our lower part of our body as straight as we can, straight and tall. Just bringing those toes up, toes up, toes up, toes up. If you'd like to go ahead and do this seated, by all means, we can do calf and heel raises seated. All right, almost there, guys. You're looking good. Here we go. 4 more. And 3. Last 2 and 1. And now we're going to put it together. Heels, then toes, then heels. Then toes, then heels. Try to come way up on those toes, way up, and toes. The toes won't raise as far up, for sure, as you can when you're up on when you come up on your toes, you can bring those heels up a lot more. When we're back on our heels and we try to raise up the toes, they don't go up so high. So if they don't, that's pretty much right. That's the way our body is made. All right, let's go 2 more of each. So here comes our heels, and now here comes our toes. And done. Lovely. Woo, shake it all out a little. All right, let's go to some bicep curls. So again, grab your weights. Nice bending at the knees and standing back up. If you would like to be seated on this one, please feel free. I think I'm going to stand over here so I can see what I'm doing. Elbows to the sides. Palms are up towards the ceiling. And bringing it on up. So please feel free to go seated if that does feel better. If you can see here my weights, I've got my palms are coming up to the ceiling and the top part of my arm is tucked into my torso. When we're standing, we can kind of stagger the feet just slightly. That does help to take a little bit of extra pressure off the back so we're not going to overarch the back as we're standing and using our weights. Doing a great job. And breathing, exhaling with that effort. Perfect. You got it. One more each side. And done. All right, for our next exercise, we'll do our concentration curl, so you'll only need one weight. So set one down, come on to your seat. And with the concentration curl, we're locking that elbow into our thigh and just bringing that arm up and up. Good. And up. You got it. Looking great. You've got this. Looking perfect. This also does work some on the forearm, which is good. Working on the forearm does help us with our grip strength. So it's very, very good for that as well. 4 more. And 3. Last 2. And done. And switch. Other side. So again, locking that elbow kind of into the inner thigh and curling up. We're kind of leaning forward just slightly from our hips. And we want to go nice full range of motion. So if you notice, I'm letting my arm go all the way straight down at the bottom and curling it on up because we do want to have a full range of motion on that muscle. And we're breathing. You've got it. Looking great. And here we go. 4 more. And 3. Last 2. And done. Nice work. All right, let's set that weight on down. And we're going to come up again and work on one last leg exercise. So let's bring ourselves right on up. And coming over to the side. Don't fall on your weights. And from here, we're going to stand nice and tall and bring those legs up and up. So if you'd like to go ahead and do this seated, please feel free to do so. It's okay to do it seated. Nice and slow and controlled. Watch that we're not dipping forward at the waist, guys. We really want to keep that torso tall. Shoulders back and bring that knee up. Not dipping the chest and waist forward, but using these thigh muscles right here to bring that leg up. Very good. You've got it. Let's take it one more time on each side. And now we're going to go to 4 times on the right. 4 and 3 and 2 and left leg for 4 and 3 and 2. Back to right leg 4 and 3 and 2 and 1 and left leg 4 and 3 and 2 and done. Whew, very nice. Okie dokie, I think we're ready for some abdominals. So let's grab our weights. Again, watch that you're bending those knees when you come up. So we can be seated for this as well, and I will show you how that would look. Sitting up nice and tall, away from the back of the seat, and we're going to take those weights down the side. Noticing my shoulders are back. I'm not letting them round forward. So if you like to be standing, would look like this, where we're taking that weight right down the side. Shoulders are back. And just allowing that weight to come down the side. straight down our leg. Nice and controlled and slow. And if you'd like to do this without any weights, that's okay too. Go ahead and set the weights down. Again, we want to adapt it to what our body needs for each particular day. I'm getting kind of tired. Go ahead and stop. Rest a bit. Come on back in again when you're ready. Squeeze those tummy muscles to come up. Let's take it one more time each way. Last one and done. Lovely. Okay, now we're going to set our weights down. See, we're actually getting some work by taking our weights up and down off the floor too. So it's a kind of a twofer. And come on back down to your chair. Sitting up nice and tall, away from the back of the seat. And we're going to take a turn right from our tummies. So think we're going to take our belly button over. Belly button over. Keeping the palms up to the ceiling draws our shoulders back a little bit more, which is good because we don't want to slouch forward. So keep your palms up to the ceiling and just take that turn from the waist. And again, just to your range of motion, whatever that happens to be. Tummy's in. One more each side. And back to center. Very nice. Now, this time we're going to add a little bit of twist with a knee raise. So it will help to focus a little bit lower in the abdominal region as well. So let's bring the arms up, keep those shoulders back, and we're going to take it across. So on this one, we want to think shoulders over, just like we did with that other one that we just did. Think shoulders over, not so much elbows. The elbows are kind of staying put. And we're bringing it over from our waistline. And we're breathing, exhaling with that effort. Here we go. 4 more. And 3. Last 2. And done. Very nice. Perfect job. All right, so let's focus on that middle abdominal muscle here a little bit more. So we're going to sit right towards the edge of the chair, but safely, and bringing the upper body back, leaning the upper body against the back of the chair. Watch that we're not letting ourselves sink in. We don't want to sink in. We want to flatten ourselves here so that we're kind of thinking about taking our body at a slanted position about 45 degrees back. Actually a little more than that, probably about 150 or so. Anyway, okay, let's take our legs up. So now we want to focus on taking the legs out of it and focus on using those abdominal muscles to bring up our legs. The legs are there because they're a weight for our tummies. We're using our tummies to keep us up. If you'd like a little bit more resistance, we're going to lengthen that lever, lengthen the leg, and that does give us a little bit more resistance here. We've got that longer lever. All you engineers know about levers, right? Just like our body is a bunch of levers, really. So keep those belly buttons up. Somebody's pulling your shirt here. There's a string on your belly button and they're pulling it up, pulling it away, pulling it up, pulling it up for 4 and 3 and 2 and done. Woo! Great job, you did it. Let's spend a few moments stretching out and relaxing a little bit giving our muscles a little bit of TLC here. They worked very hard today. Yes, they surely did. So, sitting towards the edge of the chair, let's bring that leg out, keeping that knee straight, hinging forward from the hips to feel that stretch through the back of the leg. We can stay up here, or if you want a little bit more, you can start to come down towards the foot. Again, don't have to. Take it to your point of stretch where you feel like you're getting that stretch. And that's where we want to hold it. And we're breathing. Exhaling with that effort. Inhaling and exhaling. Just letting that body relax. Good job. All right, coming on up. Let's bring that leg up, and now we're going to circle those ankles round. So noticing I'm only moving from my ankle, foot, toes. The rest of my leg is steady put round the other way. We're not letting that leg move around from our knee or my hip, just from those ankles. Letting those calf muscles that work so hard, and the shins, giving them a nice little stretch. And relax. All right, let's do that same thing on the other side. So first our leg is forward, sitting up tall, and then coming forward. So noticing I'm hinging from my hips. My shoulders are not dipping forward. Shoulders stay back, and we're hinging from our hip muscles here. If you want a little more, come on down that leg. We can even come all the way down, give a little pull back on those toes. Again, don't have to. If that feels like it's too much, stay up. Take it to where you're getting a nice stretch through the leg. And breathing, letting those muscles just relax. They love it. Okay, come on back up. Foot comes up. Slowly rotating that ankle round. And let's take it round the other way. Letting all those muscles around our ankles, our shins, our calf muscles. And then pull those toes way back towards our nose and give it a point. And give them a flex. And give them a point one more time. Give them a flex and a point. And let's change that other side. So here we go. We're going to point and flex, and point, and flex, and point, and flex. Two more, and flex. Last one. And now let's take that leg and bring that ankle up at the opposite thigh, stretching out that hip that works so hard. So we can stay up nice and straight and tall. If you're feeling enough of a stretch here, stay right here. If you want a little bit more, again, we can hinge from the hips. Keeping the head up, the shoulders back, and letting that hip get a nice little stretch. And we're breathing with that stretch, guys. Yes, just take a nice breath in and out. Coming up again, let's take that knee, pulling it towards the opposite shoulder, taking this hand back behind you, pressing on your chair, lifting yourself up, and letting that hip get a stretch this way too. A little differently than we did on that first one, still stretching through the hip though. And we're breathing, letting those muscles relax. Let's take that leg down to the floor, coming back to that second leg. Let's cross that ankle at that thigh. Again, we can sit up tall, or we can hinge from the hips a little bit or a lot to get that stretch a little deeper. Again, take it where your body needs for today. Might be different than it was the other day, might be different than the other side. That's pretty normal. And just let those muscles relax. They love it. Nice breaths in and out. If you're tensing up those muscles, they won't stretch. So try to really breathe and let those muscles relax. Sitting up, let's take that knee Pull it over towards the opposite shoulder. Other arm behind you. Sit up tall. Look over that shoulder. Coming back to center. Let's take that on down, stretching through our back a little bit. Hands start here. We're going to round that spine over. So now this time we are rounding our spine over our legs. We can stay up here, up tall. If you'd like a little bit more stretch, you can start bringing the hands down towards your feet or the floor. Pull the belly button up. But watch that your shoulders aren't creeping up in your ears. We want to keep them down. And just let that back get a nice little stretch. Nice breaths in and out. And let's bring ourselves right back up to seated position. Slowly start to rotate those shoulders back. Rotate back, nice and slow. Letting those muscles release. Couple more here. And now let's take them forward and forward. Lovely. Those shoulders and backs worked very hard, and chest muscles. They all worked very hard today. They deserve a little bit of TLC here. One more round. And relax. Let's take that one arm across. We can keep it low. If you'd like a little bit deeper stretch, if that doesn't bother your shoulder, go ahead and give it a little pull across. Watch that this shoulder is not popping up into the ears. It should not look like that. Keep it down. Keep yourself tall. Let's take that to the other side. Again, starting here, shoulder down. If you'd like a little bit more, you can help it across. Don't have to. Just check you're maintaining that space between the shoulder and the ear. We want to really avoid having that shoulder pop up into the ear. Crunches your neck. If you are noticing that you're feeling a little bit of tension in your neck, that is possibly what you're doing, is this. So keep it down. All right, let's take one arm forward, bring it down the back. Give yourself a little pat back there because you did perfectly awesome. If you want more, we can give it a little push from the front or even come up from behind. So again, choose option 1, 2, or 3. And just let those muscles release. And coming back to center, let's take it to the other way. Down the back. Let's give ourselves a pat back there too because we did terrific today. And we can stay here if it's bothering the shoulder. Bring it down. Give it a little extra here. Come back with that hand behind. Gives a little extra stretch through that shoulder of the arm that's behind us too. Tricep of that one that's up over. So again, take it where you need it for today. And coming back to the center, let's take one arm forward, palm is down, draw those fingers back, stretching out that forearm a little bit. Just give a little bit of pull on those fingers. If that does bother your fingers to do that, it's okay just to hold them here. You don't have to add that little extra stretch to it. Let's take that up to the ceiling. And back to the center. Let's take that other side, palm down, fingers back. And if you'd like, add a little bit of stretch to that to get that forearm here too as well stretched. And then fingers up, stretching through here, through that wrist and forearm, fingers. Very good. Back to center. Let's slowly start to rotate those fingers and wrists round. So we want to try to just isolate from the wrist. And then round the other way. Very nice. In the center, let's make a great big fist. And open those fingers real wide. And a great big fist. And open those fingers real wide. One more time. And open those fingers real wide. And then kind of wiggle those fingers. Feels kind of good. Perfect. All right, here we go. Thumbs up to the ceiling. Take those arms up as high as is okay for you. And then we're going to push the palms down. And here we go. Thumbs up. And push the palms down. And here we go. Thumbs up. And this time we're going to push that back wall a little bit more. And lift the chest. Really feel that nice stretch. Through the chest, through the front of the shoulders, down the arms. And now lacing our fingers together, rounding the spine forward. Let those back muscles get a little stretch here. And coming back to the center, let's take our arms out, draw those elbows in, and straighten, draw them in, and straighten, draw them in, and then bring your hands together and give yourselves a great big hand. You did it. Super job. Thanks for spending time with me today, and I look forward to having you spend some time with me again next time that your exercise is scheduled, which I know is Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 10, I do believe. So have a great rest of the day. Enjoy. Hopefully you felt like you got some benefits out of this, that you feel better now that you're done than you did before you started. That's the goal. So have a good one, y'all. Again, thanks so much, and look forward to seeing you again. Have a good one. Bye-bye.